And we're back with more breaking news. I'm Talia Walia.
And I'm Patrick Tatcher.
And we have a breaking news story from the fab little town of Coolsville.
Our good friend Scooby-Doo and the gang are captured by an evil tar monster.
Oh my gosh.
And are trying to get free.
Yeah, so let's cut to the live footage.
Raggy! Scooby! I never felt so good!
Wow, that is crazy.
Really?
How did Scooby-Doo know that the fire extinguisher would freeze the tar?
I don't know, but I wonder how it works.
Well, yeah, me too. Let's throw it to Becky, our fire extinguisher expert, to get us started on the explanation of this mystery.
Thanks, fam squad. Let me tell you about some extinguishers. The way fire extinguishers work is they get rid of one of the three things necessary for fire to thrive, and those are fuel, oxygen, and heat. And there are many different types of extinguishers, including water, dry chemical, wet chemical, and carbon dioxide. Fire extinguishers can also be classified by colors on them, which identifies the type of fires they can be used on. The fire extinguisher Scooby-Doo uses is a dry chemical fire extinguisher because it has the red on it, which means it's used in combustible and flammable liquids such as oil, gasoline, and paint. We were able to identify this type because of the dry chemical fire extinguisher is the only type allowed in a mine, which is where the scene was set, and the appearance of it along with the color matches a dry chemical. A dry chemical extinguisher consists of foam or a dry powder, and the propellant is a compressed nitrogen. The foam or powder is made of either sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate, or monoammonium phosphate, which is sprayed out like a layer on top of the fire, which cuts off one of the three things, which is fuel, from the oxygen around it, which then causes the fire to go out. That's it. So back to y'all at the studio.
Thank you so much for that, Becky. All right, now we're going to head over to Nancy, our coal tar expert. To you, Nancy.
Thanks, guys. The monster in the clip appears to be made from the substance coal tar, a brown or black liquid of extremely high viscosity that is a solid at room temperature and becomes more liquid as it is heated. It is formed as a byproduct of the carbonization of coal heated in the absence of air at temperatures ranging from about 900 to 1200 degrees Celsius. One of its biggest components is naphthalene, or C10H8, a white volatile hydrocarbon, which gives it a peculiar smell. Coal tar's main elements are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and ash. The substances in tar are not originally found in the carbon, but are formed by disintegration, radical reactions, condensations, and secondary disintegration. There is no exact formulation for coal tar because over 450 different substances have been identified as coal tar as a result of the process to make coal tar being conducted at very different temperatures. As a result of being extremely nonpolar, tar is practically insoluble in water. There is no known freezing point of coal tar, as the substance is solid at room temperature, which seems to contradict the actions depicted in the clip. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate that. I did not know so much about coal tar.
Me neither.
And now we're going to go to Karen, finally, our criticism expert.
Thanks, guys. So although this scene looks pretty legit, this type of fire extinguisher could not freeze the coal tar in real life. Although a dry chemical fire extinguisher could be used to put out a fire involved with coal tar, there is nothing in its properties to freeze the substance, because the whole purpose is to stop the fuel source. The only fire extinguisher that could possibly freeze a substance would be the CO2 fire extinguisher. The CO2 is compressed in the extinguisher, which increases the pressure and therefore decreases the temperature. This means that the temperature of the CO2 in the extinguisher is very low, while the temperature of the tar monster can be assumed to be very high since it is a liquid, and tar melts at over 1,173 Kelvin. Therefore, when the CO2 meets the tar, the temperature of the tar will decrease drastically, and although it won't freeze, it will become a solid. So although this scene is not completely accurate, if Scooby were to instead use a CO2 extinguisher, he would have still been able to stop the tar monster and help his friends to escape. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Karen, and thanks to you guys for tuning in to another episode of Breaking News. Remember, I am Talia Walia.
And I'm Patrick Tatrick.
And remember to tip your waitresses. Have a great night.